Michaela Vernava for NESN.com here on Radio Row, and I am joined now by Ronnie Lott. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
As the Denver Broncos get set to square off against the Carolina Panthers in this Super Bowl, I want to ask you, these are two great defenses that are playing in this game. Whose is better?
Well, that's a great question. You got to say that Denver's probably better overall, but I think Luke Kuechly is the best player in the game. And I think that Luke Kuechly is one of those guys that's going to be a difference maker in this game. And I'm excited because I'm looking forward to a defensive game. I think it's going to be a great defensive game. And the reason why I think you're going to see the guys up front get after the quarterbacks, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on both quarterbacks.
In the secondary, how about the emergence of Josh Norman as an elite cornerback this year?
Yeah, you know, what's interesting to me is that he came from out of nowhere, but I think he's also earned the respect of a lot of people. I think he's a talented young man. He's going to get better. I think this is a great opportunity for him to be able to showcase his skills. And I also believe that he's a guy that's going to have a say in this game. The big question is, in games like this, you got to stick to what you know. And so it's going to be interesting to see if he is able to stick to what he knows or if he's able to get frustrated by all the activities. And sometimes you get away from your game. So it's a big game for Josh Norman.
Well, in New England, there was a lot of panic when Darrelle Revis went to New York and did not come back. No one really thought that the Patriots secondary was going to be all that good, and they did hold their own this season. How were they able to do that?
I think the reason that they're able to do it, it comes from coaching. It not only comes from coaching, but it comes from the fact that these guys are hard workers. And it comes from the fact that the type of people they are. And I think when you think of Butler and you think of Chung and you think of that group of guys, it really is a unit. It's not one guy or another guy. It's a unit. And even when you had Revis, the unit has to work well together. And it looks like the way that they have their unit always works well. And they don't give up big plays. They don't find themselves in situations where they hurt themselves. They find them in situations where they're always constantly helping themselves.
And until recently, though, the New England secondary, that's been a weak spot for Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Why is that? Why have they had trouble building up a super strong secondary?
Well, I don't know if it's a weak spot. You know, I think a lot of people look at it sometimes as a misnomer because they don't have the names per se. And I think one of the challenges in playing defense is that it's a unit. It's everyone playing great defense together. And so when you think about a great defense, it starts, especially in the pass defense, it starts up front. It's not in the secondary. And so when they are able to get pressure on the quarterback, which they're able to do, they are allowed to be able to make the defensive backs even play better. So I love the fact that the unit of how Belichick really runs his defense is all of those guys are playing pass defense. It's not just their secondary. And so they're able to get away with playing great football on the defensive side with not having the names.
Well, I want to get to this cool set of goggle-looking things that you brought.
Right.
Because
those cool set of goggle things are really amazing because you were like going, wow, I can't believe it.
You just brought these and I tried them on and I felt like I was on a football field. It was really a crazy experience.
Yes, a crazy experience. NextVR is really a company that provides incredible content, but in content that's going to allow you to be able to actually feel like you're in the field. And I think one of the great things about this experience is that you will find yourself wanting to come back and to experience even more of it. Right now, they've done a Warriors game. They've done a fight so far, but they will be involved with some type of professional football relationship at some point. And I think when they are able to get that done, it's going to be phenomenal because as a fan, you talk about defensive backs, you're going to be able to sit there and line up right next to a defensive back. So you're going to get to see those type of angles that you never get a chance to see. And I think NextVR is the next company to bring you that type of content.
To give people an idea of what it's like, I put these on and I felt like it's a 3D animation. I really felt like I was on the field in Miami. I was watching Ryan Tannehill warm up, and then all of a sudden I was in New York in the middle of a Jets huddle. And I pulled them off my head really quickly because I felt like I was about to get an elbow, but it feels that lifelike, and when you turn, you see all angles of the stadium. It's really
Which
crazy.
I think is really cool, is that imagine here you are, as you just pointed out, you had these great experiences, but as you turn your head, as you look around, you see everything around you. And the great thing about that is that you don't get a chance to do that when you're in sports. You don't get a chance to be in the middle of something and literally get to see all of the activities that are right there on the field. So this is a great experience. It's an experience that I know for a fact that fans are going to love.
Well, if you're in the Bay Area in San Francisco, they do have these at the NFL Experience.
Yes, they do. And trust me, if you are willing to go and check it out and have the same experience that she just had, you're going to love it. So come check it out.
I highly recommend it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.